Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. As you can see, JP Nodia is unfortunately not with us this evening, so I'll be holding down the fort with two very esteemed guests. But before we get to the guests for this evening, we have to thank our sponsors, Direct Access, Score Energy Drinks, Yes Electrical, Intercape Official Transport for Western Province and the DHL Stormers, and also Thorburn Security. And then don't forget, keep your cell phones handy, plenty of competitions coming up throughout the show and you can win some fantastic prizes. Coming up on the show, there's a friendly, the guys were down at Police Rugby Club Sports Day, and we have a look at Gardens taking on Delft, Langa take on Caledonian Roses, and Police take on Titans. And then the other guys were also down at Kraaifontein Rugby Club Sports Day, which was a fantastic day. I was down there, and Kraaifontein take on Busy Bees, Brackenfell take on Unimil, and then the last fixture of the day was also Delft taking on Hamiltons. But before I get cracking, let me introduce you to my guest, esteemed guest this evening, and I'm not quite sure in which hierarchy we're going to go. We're going to go former assistant coach of the Stormers or current assistant coach of the Stormers. So we'll go former. Jerome Papata, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Thanks, Morgan. Welcome to you also. And I'm hosting the show tonight in the absence of the esteemed JP Nodia.
We're going to make sure we don't miss JP Nodia at all. We're going to have heaps of fun for the next hour, and we're going to make JP envious sitting at home probably watching. But Jerome, I mean, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the head of talent identification? Do you prefer the former assistant? Or what title am I giving you this evening?
No, Morgan, I've got so many titles. I don't know what I am. I'm just a normal guy. Trying to help people at Western Province Rugby, yeah. But so, and talking about that, Morgan, I must just before we start just congratulate Kraaifontein on a great rugby day. I was there Saturday, great rugby, lots of teams, lots of fun, lots of people, and also well done to you guys. I think you guys did your recruitment right this year with all the guys playing there, and the team that you get is like, I think Rito, you need to be a former Springbok or Super Rugby player to be part of Hamilton's now.
Speaking of our, it was a fantastic day, but let's not. We'll dive deeper into that a little bit later on. We also chat to the head coach of Hamilton Rugby Club, Phil Cronier. But before we get to him, we've got a man that comes off a nice break. You can see he's let his hair down a little bit, but we've got the forwards coach of the Stormers in our midst with us this evening, Rito Shlongwane. Rito, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks, Morgan. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time, but I'm happy to be back here.
I know the Stormers were on a bye this weekend, so do you guys, I take it you were involved with no rugby this weekend?
Yeah, the nice thing about a bye is no one loses and no one wins, so took it easy a bit, relaxed. It's been a tough year already, so it was nice to have a bit of a break.
Fantastic. So we're going to dive straight into it, folks. We have interviews across the board. I'm not going to run through it, but we've got Busy Bees interviews. We've got interviews with Unimil. We've got interviews with the Hamiltons. And then also we head down to DHL Stormers training and chat to some of the Stormers as they prepare for what's going to be a fairly tough show on the road as things turn out. So heading straight into it, let's look at the highlights from the Police Rugby Club Day, which was Gardens taking on Delft.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Well, there you have it, folks. Gardens taking on Delft. As we know, Gardens plays in the City League and Delft play in the Northern League. But some fantastic interplay there. And I mean, Rita, I want to bring this one to you. But, you know, pre-season friendlies, rugby days, what should coaches be looking for? I mean, there's so many different elements of the game that, you know, you want to be focusing on. But, I mean, what is the take-home factor for coaches at this time of the year?
I think the most important thing for me would be just getting the players ready, getting them fit, you know, getting used to making contact and playing against other teams and maybe trying to put their structures together. That would be the main sort of focus for me as a coach during the preseason.
Jerome, you obviously work with a lot of the club guys during the preseason, you know, trying to get them obviously fit and, you know, sort of, what are your focus points? Because obviously you're dealing more with club guys, you know, Rita's now, he's moved on from us, you know, he's now more with the professional side of things. The guys are, their preseasons, you know, they're working in the off season and so forth. Yeah, club guys are potentially not really doing much work in the off season or in their sort of, when, you know, now it's preseason time. What would you recommend coaches should be focusing on?
Look, Morgan, we done a lot of, we started last year November, where we tested club players and we gave them their results, and we basically gave the clubs like sort of a pre-season plan, what they can do in terms of running, in terms of their conditioning. So that is what we've done from Western Province's side, and a lot of the clubs, I know they were doing it, and if you look at the club teams now, especially if you look at, I know Delft was doing a lot of work, and their coach is always coming to Bellville, to the HPC, to see what the Stormers are doing or what we're doing with under 20 months or Super Sport Challenge. So you can see the guys are doing the work. And what we also currently busy doing, Morgan, last week we had a defense session, just waiting for Rito. So then we're going to do a forwards line-out session with Rito and Simi in scrums. And that's what we do for club guys. And I can see that the guys are doing it. If I look at the rugby day at Kraaifontein, you can see the guys are conditioned, the guys are fit. So from that side, we help, and I know that you guys at the clubs do a lot. So we actually blessed in Western Province that the guys are doing sort of the right stuff, and you can see, and you can also see, like Saturday, there were not a lot of injuries because of what the guys were doing pre-season. So I think the guys are on track on what they do so far.
If I look at that highlights package there, I mean, Gardens just playing with, you know, such great width, you know. Obviously, Rita, I want to bring you in here with how important, yes, you know, conditioning is important, and yes, you know, the guys need to be in the gym and they need to be fit and all those kinds of things. How important is getting ball in hand, playing with the ball, you know, because I think to find the balance is often tough for a lot of club coaches.
Yeah, I think, you know, you should always look to play to the strength of your players and your team, and that's what Gardens was doing pretty well. You know, you can see most of their players are quite talented, they're very good with ball in hand. So it's always important as a coach to acknowledge that, not just look at everything on TV, kicking game and all of that, and try to copy that. You need to look at the tools that you have and play to their strengths.
Fantastic. Folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the ad break, we're going to look at some more highlights from the Police Rugby Club Sports Day. This time we take a look at Caledonian Roses and Langa, who have been newly promoted to Super League B after beating Scotstoun at Newlands last year in that fantastic Super League C championships. See you after the break. There you go. Welcome back, folks. Reminder, just congratulations, actually. Must go to Delft for winning that game against Gardens. I know we spoke a lot about both sides, but congratulations to Delft coming out victorious. We're going to take a look now at Caledonian Roses, who go up against Langa.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Well done there to Langa coming out victorious against Caledonian Roses. And as I mentioned before the break, Langa being newly promoted to Super League B and playing some fantastic rugby, playing with massive width. And Rito and Jerome both very impressed by the way they're playing. Jerome, I mean, I didn't pick up that they changed jerseys, I must be honest, but they did change jerseys. It looked like it worked wonders. And this Langa side, playing in Super League B, which we all always agree is, I mean, a group of death, if you want to call it that, because it's so tough, Super League B, you know. How do you think they'll fare this year, Jerome?
I think they're going to be the surprise package this year in Super League B. I watched them at the finals at Newlands. These guys can play rugby, Morgan. They offload, step, and also they got a good pack of forwards, and they're well coached. So I think they're really going to be a force to be reckoned with. And also, just with the jerseys, it's like, if you watch the weekend, Rito,
the Bulls,
Highlanders.
in the Highlanders.
Yeah.
I don't know how the ref could see that, and I think it's the same this week with both red jerseys with the two teams now, so they had to change. And I know back in the day, the Pumas, they used to, Jimmy Stonehouse, they used to do this at halftime. They come out with new jerseys because then it's like a new half or whatever. So, but yeah, it's. But I think Morgan Langa is really going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Rita, I mean, just from the highlights alone, I know you weren't down at the game, but from the highlights alone, these guys throw the ball around. There's some serious individual skill there, talent. I mean, you know, we should be doing some poaching there. What do you think of the talent that you saw on the highlights package?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like I said earlier, the guys know what their strengths are and they train that hard, and it comes through during games. And I think they're very well coached sides, coached by Wanisile Mayokwana, who's been in the Western Province system for a very long time. And it's quite impressive to see that they've built right from the zones all the way up to Super League B.
Yeah, as Rita says, it is fantastic to see. And also, well done to Caledonian Roses. They'll be playing the trade in City League this year, and I'm sure they'll be holding their heads very high after that performance. We're going to take another look now at Police up against Titans, still from the Police Rugby Club Sports Day, and Police who also play in the City League. This is the annual event to raise awareness for the missing children's unit, and Titans we know play in the Southern League. Let's have a look at the highlights, and then we'll chat to the two experts with me.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
There you have it, folks. Another action-packed fixture between Police and Titans, and congratulations to Titans coming out victorious in that game. But I mean, Jerome, do results not really matter at this time of the year? You know, it's just a matter of making sure people are getting 80 minutes under their belt or 40 minutes under their belt. You know, checking combinations for coaches and hopefully just taking more out of it than actually a result.
Yes, it's good to see that the guys are playing and all the guys are playing. And just said to Rito now, we've earlier on from February, Cape TV guys went out to go film the training session. So you could see the guys were busy and working hard. So it's now the right time, yeah, as you say, just to test the combination, see what you have in the club, and let the guys play and let them have fun. And just look at this game now. I saw this guy from Titans run. I don't know if you're allowed to run away from a police guy if they ran and score under the post.
Yeah, I think you're pretty right, Jerome. They shouldn't be running away from the police players. But nonetheless, congratulations, and also congratulations to everyone from the Police Rugby Club Sports Day. A fantastic day out there, and the teams, you know, are really enjoying this time of the year, pre-season friendlies and so forth. It's now time for you to get your cell phones handy, and you can win for yourself a case of Score energy drinks. All you got to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. There you see it on the screen. SMS the word SCORE to 33090, and you can win for yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Congratulations to last week's winner, Marco Davids. He wins for himself a case of Score energy drinks, and I'm sure somebody from Cape Rugby TV will get in touch with him to make sure he can get his hands on that prize. Folks, we're going to take another ad break. When we come back from the ad break, we move across to a different rugby club sports day. This time it's Kraaifontein. And the first fixture of this game will be Kraaifontein taking on Busy Bees. We know Kraaifontein playing in Super League C, and the whole day was played at the Jan de Tooy Sports Fields. Let's take an ad break. When we come back, we have a look at this first friendlies highlights. Welcome back, folks. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to head down to Kraaifontein Rugby Day at the Jan de Tooy Sports Day, and the Busy Bees playing in Super League B. It's also their second year in the league with a new coaching staff. And let's have a look how they fare against Kraaifontein.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Welcome back, folks. There we have it. Kraaifontein up against the Busy Bees. Fantastic fixture there and tightly contested. Again, Jerome, I mean, Busy Bees, new coaching staff, obviously have done a bit of recruiting and so forth. Again, what do they look for? It's a rugby day. Do you try a whole array of new things? It's new coaching staff. What's the touch points?
Yeah, I could see Busy Boys. We know they don't like to kick a lot, but I could see they changed their style a bit. Like in the 22, they were what we call exit. So they from scrums and from lineouts they kicked because I think they also know playing in Super B you can't just run from everywhere. So they've done that a lot in that game, which I picked up. And I must say, Morgan, that I was surprised with Kraaifontein. I think in their league, they're going to be another team to watch because they have quite a big pack of forwards, good backs, and I think the result was it ended up in a draw. It was good for Kraaifontein. I mean, Busy Bees and Super B, and Kraaifontein is just a league lower. So it was a good tester for them. And overall, I think both the teams know exactly now what they can work on. But I think in the league, Kraaifontein is going to be a force, I think.
I mean, Rita, I want to bring you in here. Kraaifontein Super League C, Busy Bees Super League B. How important is it to play against sides slightly stronger than you just to test your mettle early on? I know the Stormers obviously maybe have a different way of doing things. There aren't many teams in the Western Cape better than the Stormers or able to match the Stormers. But from a sort of a more amateur point of view, when you were coach, would you prefer to play teams better than you, the same level? What's your thinking?
Yeah, look, it's important to get the balance right. You want to test your structures against a stronger team and a weaker team to see where you really are. So it is crucial that it's quite good to see that the teams are playing teams from a higher league, just sort of as a measure to see if the systems are in place and if the players are good enough. If they get promotion, would they be able to punch in that league as well? So it's quite a nice thing, and I would recommend teams to, if they have 4 friendlies, two weaker teams and 2 stronger teams, then you have a strong idea of where you are as a club.
Fantastic, folks. We also caught up, talking of Kraaifontein, we caught up with one of their players, Ruan Mark. Let's see what he had to say.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Ja nee, dit is ons eerste tuisgame in 6 maande, so was lekker om weer by die tuis te speel. Klipharde game, Busy Bees het gekom vir ons. Ek dink vir hulle wat daar in Super B is, het ons nie sleg gedoen die 10-0 draw. So ek sien uit vir die seisoen, dit lyk goed. Ek dink vir die eerste keer by ons klub het ons lekker nommers. Ons het vir die eerste keer, ek weet nie hoeveel jaar, 'n derde span wat eintlik oefen nie. So hier's definitief iets wat gebeur by die klub. Hier's 'n lekker gees, hier's positief aan die gang. So dit is lekker. Ek dink hier kom 'n spesiale jaar vir ons. Hier is volgende naweek speel ons Goodwood. Hulle het die game nog net voor ons hier gespeel, so ons 'n bietjie gesien wat vir ons wag. So ons sien eintlik baie uit. Daarna het ons lekker 2 af en dan begin die liga. Ja, ek dink ons is definitief reg vir die liga. Ons het 'n bietjie die fixtures opgehou en ek dink dit is hierdie jaar Kraaifontein se jaar om te vat.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Fantastic to hear Ruan Mark talk about the amount of numbers that he's seeing down at Kraaifontein Rugby Club. Obviously doing something fantastically well there, and long may it continue. We also caught up with the Busy Bees coach and players here, Bongahani and Simpiwe Mzukwa.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
It's a great opportunity for us to be here. I mean, we're building into the season. Last year we were in Super League B, so we're trying to up our game now. It was a great game that we had here today, trying to build a couple of new guys that we have coming from other teams. Others are starting to join the team. So it's quite a good day for us to try some of our guys also coming from the junior side.
Yeah, it was a lovely atmosphere here. The sun was hot, but we managed to take it in and give it our all, give it our best inside the field. This promises to be great because we've been here last time and then we were disappointed from ourselves. But now, we can see we've set goals and then we are willing to achieve those goals. During this pre-season time, we've worked so hard, so we're hoping that the results will come sooner.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
There you have it, folks. Siyabonga and Simpiwe. Fantastic. Both teams came down and played some fantastic rugby. We're going to move along now, and we're going to see the next highlights, which is up between Brackenfell taking on Unimil.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
There you have it, folks. Two powerhouses of Super League A. Brackenfell going up against Unimil. I unfortunately can't share a result with you because the game was played for about 40 to 50 minutes after they had some lighting issues, which was sorted out in the end as Hamiltons were still able to take on Durbel in the second fixture. But before we get there, we're going to talk to Brackenfell captain Llewellyn van Blerk, and we also talk to Unimil coach and player Ishmael Dolly and Jody Dennis. See you after the break.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Ja, ek was baie lekker geweest. Tweede game uit. Veral altyd lekker teen Unimil. En ja, ek dink ons het geniet. So net so oor die 40 minute onder die belt gekry, ligte 'n bietjie geplan, maar ek dink ons het goeie goed gedoen. Ja, is reg. Ja, ek dink verseker so. Ek dink ons conditioning goed lyk goed. Twee games oor, lekker. Ek dink almal moet net lekker nog speeltyd kry onder die belt. So 'n paar goedjies wat ons definitief moet aanwerk. Tegnies goed wat ons moet uitsort en so aan, en dan sit league time.
Yeah, no, it was nice to get the guys out. It was our first friendly. It's a pity it was only one off, but we can only control what we can control. And our panel member Morgan Newman interrupting things, but yeah, it was good. I think it's a pity we couldn't complete the game, but we'll take the positives out of it. Some things that we can definitely work on, but we'll definitely address that in the week.
You know, it's always a tough encounter when we play against Brackenfell. Yeah, now very good game. Can obviously it's pre-season, a lot of mistakes, but structures are in there. Now very excited for the season, very promising. That's definitely now one thing about Unimil is a very strong culture. We welcome new players. So this is my third year here, and I told him on the first year that I won't leave this club. So you can see players they welcome here, they're gelling well. You could see the boys were very eager to get some contact, and we've just been running, we're doing a little contact with each other, but you could see definitely the boys were very eager for some contact. So I think the league we're very excited for.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Welcome back, folks. As you can see, the still chirping Ismail Dolly the same way I did when we played together as a 10-12 combination. And as Rita will tell you, I got to add Paul Double to the mix there too, Rita.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had the unfortunate privilege to play with Ishmael, Morgan, and Paul Delport, which was a problem to my life and has cost me to age quicker than I was supposed to age.
Rita was our captain, folks. He tried to keep all of us in check. Anyway, this is not about us. We're going to move along. We're going to watch the next highlights. It's Durban up against Hamilton's.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Welcome back. Hamilton's taking on Durban. They're nice and close fixture and tightly contested, but I won't be passing comments. We're going to have a look at, we're going to talk to rather, the Hamilton's head coach, Phil Cronier, and hear what he had to say about the fixture, as well as Hamilton's fullback, Jacqueline Moses, who played extremely well on the night.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Yeah, always tough playing Durban. Obviously, we know they're the national and the Western Province club champs. I thought it was a good outing. It's our first, let's call it the first challenge that we had for the season. I think we come out tops. A lot of things to work on, but now we know the benchmark and we can build on that. Obviously, this is all about building blocks. We're building the blocks at the moment. We're getting there. Like you said, it's all new guys that's coming in. A lot of experienced guys, a lot of youth that's coming through. We're taking it step by step. But yeah, I'm happy. Like I said, there's still a lot of areas that we need to work on. But yeah, so far so good. Let's look at next weekend. We're playing NTK at home, and that's also part of the process.
We're coming together now. I think it's our third friend we're playing now. So it's definitely tough, definitely a tough one. New boys, new group. I'm also new myself, so being in the environment is awesome. It's an awesome game, especially this game today. It's like two clubs going head to head, two big clubs going head to head. It's a very physical battle out there, but it was very fun. It was fun. These are the games that prepares you for the league to come, and still the Gold Cup also to come. So these games is especially for us as a group. Look, we still a lot of guys that still need to come into the team. So it's a definitely a learning curve for the new guys. The old guys also coming in, and it's definitely going to test us going forward from here.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
The fixtures for this weekend, we're going to quickly run through them. Some selected fixtures. St. George's up against Strand. Kales River up against Helderberg, Young Gardens up against Temperance and Cities, Windmill United go up against Young Standards, and then lower down it's Elsies River taking Collegians, Goodwood up against Kraaifontein, Vineyards up against Tigerberg, and Lamotka up against Violet's Paul, and then also Masapumalele up against Retreat. Lower down, Bellville they're up against UWC, Hamlets take on Primrose, Whistling Wheels take on Morningstar, and then lower down Durban UCT should be a big fixture, while Gardens take on Titans. Folks, we're going to have a look at the Varsity Cup fixtures to look forward to. First, the results. Marties, they ran Ikeys close, winning that one 8-7. And then CUT, they comfortably beat UWC 47 points to 10. Fixtures to look forward to this coming Monday is the Northwest University go up against Marties. Ikeys take on Shimlers at home. And the University of Johannesburg, they go up against the UWC. It's time for another ad break. And when we come back from the ad break, we're going to talk to Rito Shlongwane, who's joined us. He is the forwards coach of the Stormers. And we also have a chat to hooker Chad Solomon of the Stormers and a number of other individuals as we look at what's going down at the Stormers after their bye weekend. Well, welcome back, folks. We're going to head straight down to the Stormers training and to see what's going down at the Stormers after their bye weekend as they head and prepare for what's going to be an extremely tough test against the Sharks this coming weekend.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Well, there you have it, folks. Down at the Stormers training, as we know, the Stormers currently sitting second in the conference and fifth in the log standings, if I'm correct, Rita. And also sitting on 17 points with the Sharks, who are on first in the log with 20 points in the SA conference and fourth overall in the standings. Rita, this weekend, I mean, you're probably the best person to talk to. It is going to be tough, and you guys are prepared.
Yeah, definitely, Morgan. It's a top of the table clash, and it's an away game for us, so we do expect a tough game, but we're preparing well for it, and we'll be ready come Saturday.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Yeah, definitely. The boys are well rested, obviously coming off the off week. So boys are working hard now this week, putting things together, getting plans right for the weekend, for the big clash. Obviously, inter-conference game, like you said. So it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, up there in the Shark Tank, it's never easy. But I think the boys have been working hard, and there's good plans in place to get the win this weekend. Yeah, obviously we want to get confidence before we travel. Both games are going to be inter-conference, so it's very important for us. Obviously, we want to end top of the conference first and foremost. So both games very important, and obviously the Sharks game is coming first. So we haven't really thought about the Argentina game yet. First things first is the Sharks. So let's get that first done before we worry about the next game. No, it's amazing seeing the Cape Town supporters come through week in and week out so far. I think the numbers haven't been as good in the last few years and it's been this year. So we really appreciate that, and I hope for the next home games to come, it'll get even better. And obviously, we want to get the result for you guys and get Cape Town smiling.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Very quickly, I mean, I'm not going to dive too much into it, but how do we keep the boys motivated? They've obviously picked up fantastic results. Then, a bit of a slip up against the Blues a fortnight ago. Are the boys still motivated? Is the camp positive?
Yeah, I mean, the camp has always been positive. The boys know what's our goal, and our eyes are right on our goal. So, everybody stayed positive. We've worked really hard. We're still working hard, and we just need to carry on doing the job.
Straight out of the horse's mouth, assistant forwards coach of the Stormers, Rita Shlongwane. Folks, let's look at the Super Rugby fixtures this weekend. We already know that the Stormers up against the Sharks, but the others are, first the results, it's the Sunwolves. They went down to the Brumbies, 47-14. Then the Crusaders, they beat the Reds of 24 points to 20. The Waratahs, they were comfortably beaten by the Chiefs, 51 points to 14, while the Hurricanes went down to the Blues, 24-15. The Rebels, they beat the Lions fairly comfortably, 37 points to 17, while the Sharks, they were up against the Jaguars, winning that one, 33-19. And the Bulls, wrapping up the fixtures, they beat the Highlanders, 38 points to 13. The fixtures to look forward to this weekend: the Chiefs take on the Hurricanes, the Blues take on the Lions, the Sunwolves take on the Crusaders, the Reds, they up against the Bulls, the Sharks, the big one of the weekend, as we just spoke about when we were down at the Stormers camp. It's the Sharks up against the Stormers, while the Jaguars go up against the Highlanders, and wrapping up the fixtures for the weekend, the Brumbies, they're up against the Waratahs. It's also Super Brew Pool, the Cape Rugby TV Super Brew Pool. Let's quickly look at who's topping the pops there. Speed, he won the yellow cap for the week. He's sitting on, 423 points, I think it may be, or 45 points in total, while Executioner moved up 1 point, and then Salope 15, Golfer 7, Hilton 09, Zion's SB, Mighty Mike, Marvin has moved up 2, and Maggie, she also moved up 11 places and currently sits in the top 10 on 38 points. So fantastic to see Maggie up there right in the Super Bowl pool. Folks, that's all we have time for this evening. Thank you once again to our guests, Jerome Palvater and Rita Shlongwane. Rita, all the very best for this weekend.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for having me.
And Jerome, where do you find yourself this weekend?
We in George with the Supersport Challenge group, playing in Heidelberg against SVD on Saturday. So yeah, Saturday in George, in Heidelberg against SVD.
There you have it, folks. That's all from me for this evening. I'm sure JP Nodia will be back next week. But also, just before I go, thank you to our sponsors: Direct Access, Score Energy Drinks, Yes Electrical, the Intercape Official Transport for Western Province Rugby, and the DHL Stormers, and Thorburn Security for keeping Cape Rugby TV alive and well. That's all from me. Have yourselves a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.